All right, we're recording.
Yay! How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. I'm so glad that we're doing this
Yeah.
today. I'm so glad that we are bringing the raw of our experiences and our life lessons. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about today. You have a good quote for us today?
Yeah. Starting with the quote, the real power of a man is in the size of the smile of the woman sitting next to him. So basically, today we're talking about empowering women and how much value and worth they have that they are not aware of, and how society has made them think that they are less than what they are and that they should take on a lot more than what they should, just because they're a woman, they're a female, they have to be nicer, they have to be, just take on all the stuff that, for example, I'm not saying all men are bad or anything like that. There's some amazing men out there for sure, but it feels like our world is being dominated with very, I don't know if nasty men is the word.
Egotistical.
Egoistic, very egoistic, and people that think that they have more power and they're better than others and that they can, make others feel less important. And that
And
they.
unfortunately, this has been carried on since ages
Mhm,
ago. Ages ago.
mhm,
Yeah. Um, I wrote a post recently about being kind and being versus being nice, and I think that really for me resonated and connected with that with empowerment. I felt the shift in me when I came across. I didn't understand that there was a difference between nice and kind. I've always strived to be nice, right? Because we're taught to be nice. We're all taught to be nice, and I feel like um, us nice guys or nice gals, um, we get the bad end of the stick, or however you want to call it. But um, people do walk all over nice people, unfortunately. And so when I came to this distinction of nice versus kind being kind to yourself first, being kind to others, but not neglecting yourself.
yes.
There's the distinction between nice and kind. Nice people do not think of themselves,
Yes.
right? You don't consider your feelings, you don't consider what's true for you. You're just nice. And sadly, and from personal experience, um, we get taken advantage of. We get taken advantage of because of our kind hearts. But as soon as I had that shift, as soon as I found the distinction between those two things, I swear I feel so much more empowered. And I've already changed. And I've told my kids, I've told my husband, I've told everybody that I've talked to, no more Mrs. Nice Girl here. I'm kind from now on. From now on, I am kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, So we're talking about kind and nice just for people who are not understanding the difference. Basically, being nice is taking things as they are and not like really considering yourself. So if you just acting nice, even though it doesn't feel good for you, that's being nice and just taking on all the whatever talk is being talked to you, and you just take it because you're trying to be nice.
And
But
not speaking your truth.
yeah,
If
not
it doesn't sit right with you, you still don't say anything. You're just nice. You're just
yeah,
nice about it.
yeah.
And honestly, I recently had a fight, and the fight happened because I wasn't nice. I was kind,
Mm,
and that's why the fight happened. Because the person I was arguing with was anticipating I be nice, as I usually am nice.
mhm.
I'm so nice. Actually, I used to go around telling people I'm nice. It's like I used to advertise. Oh, connection is unstable. Does that mean anything?
No, so it's fine from here. It's
Oh,
okay.
on my side. Um, so the fight happened because I was kind, and I felt the emotions that I was feeling, and I spoke my truth no matter what the other person was projecting on me. I spoke my truth.
Yeah.
And the fight happened. But after that fight, um, I felt a lot better because I spoke my truth.
Yeah.
And this is absolutely what we all need to do. This is why we're here. We're here to express ourselves, right? Another thing that I found that's interesting to help nice people snap out of niceness is nice people are deceptive, right? Because you never truly know what they're thinking, what they desire. You don't know anything because they don't stand up for themselves. They're too nice to tell you the truth. They're too nice to tell you how it is.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be deceptive, right? I want to be truthful. And I want the people I'm talking to honor my truth and to honor their truth.
It's like, you know, when you meet these people, I've seen it so many times, like they act so nice that it comes out as fake. And it's like, really, are these people like this all the time? Like, how are you at your house or whatever when you're in a not such a comfortable situation, whatever? Are you like still this nice? Like, are you actually being truthful for yourself? Are you being real to yourself? It's not about trying to just be nice to everybody and so everybody can accept you. It's not about that. You're gonna feel like shit after. You're gonna be bottling up all these things inside, and you're gonna start getting sick eventually. Like, your body is gonna start to like tell you like, hey, this is not the truth. Like, you're actually hurting yourself by keeping all this sickness inside, all these diseases as a like, you know.
You're internalizing. You're internalizing. So that's one thing I think, and I've been trying to help people understand this, is your body is so smart. Your body is so amazing. And it only has certain ways of speaking to you.
Yep.
You need to listen to it. You can cure yourself of anything, as Louis Hay says. You can heal your body. Your body gives you distinct information. How else is it going to tell you? It's not going to, it might actually whisper in your ear, but if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
But for instance, somebody has high blood pressure. Why is the high blood pressure happening? I don't know. Really, you don't know? Sit with it. Figure out why. Pay attention to your day. Pay attention to your emotions through the day. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what you're internalizing and not allowing to come out of you.
And what do you keep
your
focusing
body, that's the only thing. That's what the body is doing. It's giving you hints, and it's going to start small, but if you don't pay attention, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I truly believe that disease happens when we ignore our true selves and our true essence. When we are not kind to ourselves is when disease happens.
And that could also
mean when you are kind.
Yeah, it could also mean not being kind in your health and your diet. Like, you can be really harming yourself with all this junk food, for example. Like, I know some people who love junk food tastes great, but it's actually harming you and your body knows it. And after taking it so much, you're pretty much putting poison in your body. And the same with the negative thoughts, same with all these things.
Same with negative people.
Yeah, for sure. It's all
same with negative people. It's everything, right? We're receiving everything, right? Whether it's food, whether it's other people's energies, we're all receiving. It's all internalizing. If you don't deal with what's coming in, if you don't filter what's coming in, you're going to carry all that disease, dis-ease within your body. Yeah, definitely.
So, back to the empowering of women.
Yes. Let's do it, baby. This is empowering.
Well, yeah, it is empowering, but this obviously
leading up to
everybody, not just women. But I'm trying to focus on the women part, because where we come from, not just where we come from, there's so many countries in this world where women are being, they're being treated in a way where they feel like they don't have importance, like enough importance to like stand up for themselves, to actually say like, no, I disagree, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be involved in this. But like, for example, in situations where they are forced to be married or stay in a certain marriage, for example, and they have to listen to things that, you know, they're not deserving of, and they stick with it, they stay nice, and they take it and take it and take it, and years go by and they're miserable, and they keep bottling it inside, and they can't tell anybody about it because they think that that's how everybody, that's how it is, they think that's how it is because it's become such a normal thing for them, and they're almost used to it, and they feel like if they want to talk about it, you know, they start fearing it, and they think like, oh, what if something,
they're doing something wrong if they want to voice themselves.
yeah, they feel like something's wrong with them. Exactly. And I've definitely felt these emotions before too, when I was a bit younger or whatever, like,
Yeah.
And
we hear this thing that we must endure. Now, I understand the enduring part if there is something very positive as an outcome. If you're striving to achieve something, and so you must endure until you get there, I get it. And yes, but to endure just to endure, why?
Yeah, what's the point?
Why don't you deserve better? Why don't you think you deserve better? No, you're not here to endure, you're here to live your life, you're here to explore, you're here to, the reason why we are here is for joy, is for life, right? Don't endure for the sake of enduring because you feel for some reason you must endure. No.
Yeah.
God, the universe, did not create us to endure. That's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
Now, if you endure for a certain cause where you see there is wrong and you must endure to fix that wrong, okay. But when you're just enduring for the sake of enduring, for the sake of being nice, and then you suffer, and then you get disease, and then you're miserable for all your life, that's not right.
Yeah, some
That's
people
not right.
don't even realize that these little factors can totally add up and be the reason why you're in a certain situation right now. Like, we put ourselves in certain situations and years can go by and we're like, how are we here? Why, how did this happen? But
why are we here?
we were not aware that it was us. Where we are right now is all a matter of our choices.
Cause and effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Cause and effect.
Yeah.
If this is the effect you've been having for all your life, for whatever, look back at what causes this effect. Mm-hmm. When you change the cause, the effect must change. Cause and effect. So if there is an effect, or if there is a result that you're not happy with, understand that there was a cause that you allowed or you've done to get this effect. Mm-hmm. Right? And yeah, we gotta change the frame of mind. We gotta allow or let people think more that yes, you are deserving of all the happiness you could ever dream of. You are deserving. That's why you are here.
Yeah.
And if you go wrong in your life, it doesn't mean that you're bound in that. If you make a mistake and if you don't stand up for yourself, or if you make a mistake and you're not on your best behavior, let's say, or your best potential, it doesn't mean you have to stay there for life. It does not mean you have control. You can change. You can change the way you are. Just because, for example, since we're talking about this, just because you've been nice for 40 years doesn't mean you can't all of a sudden decide I'm going to be kind from now on. Because the effect of the niceness that I've done for 40 years has put me in a bad spot. Mm-hmm. Has put me in a spot where I'm not happy, in my own skin, in my own body, in my own thoughts. And so it doesn't mean that I have to stay within them. Once you realize, once you become aware that it is a big part on what you've allowed, on what you've done that has brought this effect, right? Once you're not nice to the people that are used to you being nice and them taking advantage of you, they can no longer step all over you and take advantage of you.
Yeah.
They can no longer do it.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer playing nice.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
it's crazy how our society has, it feeds people so many negative things, like, are you happy with the way you look? If you're not, try this and that and this and that and this and that, waste thousands of dollars and this and that and this and that and this and that. And it's like all these freaking things that they feed us, and then eventually people start to lose themselves.
It's superficial shit.
Yeah, they don't even know they don't know who they are from the inside. They just care about the outside, and they're so like, whatever. They're so like focused on all these tiny little things. Oh, my ashes aren't
They're
long
not
enough.
happy.
I need to fucking glue some shit on there. Whatever. I'm not trying to be offensive.
Yeah.
It's crazy how society feeds the people shit that makes them forget to be aware, to be awake, and really stay with yourself. Like, look at all these people on the magazines. Let's try to copy them and look exactly the same. Like, who are you? Are you this person on the magazine? No. Can you afford millions of dollars to put all these plastic shit on yourself? No. Why are you caring about it so much? Why don't you focus on your true, real happiness that's going to last you a lifetime, not on the outside appearance that's eventually, sooner or later, we're all going to decompose and leave this planet. Like, it's crazy what the society makes us, focus on, and it's just for consumerism and like taking.
That's all it is.
We don't care about.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Yeah. And the sad thing is that you get taken away from what's the real purpose of why you are here. Right? You forget the important things. Like lately I've been journaling and stuff, and I've been my days are so different now. Because now I go about my days and I'm like looking for lessons. I'm looking for lessons, and the lessons are all there. Everything around you is there for a reason. And the people you come into contact with, there's a lesson for you, there's a lesson for them. It can be completely different lessons for both of you. But every person around you, every interaction you have, there's a lesson within it. And it's beautiful when you look at life that way. And then what's beautiful about it, when you don't miss it by being so consumed with this, what culture is trying to get you consumed with, is you realize that you have a choice. You have a choice after you've interacted, if you've actually were present, really present in that interaction. You have a choice to grow. You have a choice to learn. Or it could go right over your head. And you wonder why nothing is changing for you. There's always an opportunity for growth. And every day we are tested on our integrity, right? Bring your best self to every situation. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, because I promise you, when you're kind to yourself, you're also kind to others. Because the only way we can grow, the only way we can evolve, the only way that we can reach the higher levels that we are meant to reach is by being kind and keeping our integrity. Keeping our integrity and being kind to ourselves and being kind to others. That's the only way growth happens. It's the only way growth happens.
I find it very sad when I think about how, like, I don't like labels so much, but like when people think feminism is overly done or something, and the
fact that feminism is out there shows you that there's some kind of imbalance.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, it's about trying to make women realize that they're strong. But we are already strong, okay? We just forgotten that we're strong because of how we are perceived or whatever, and how they want us to be. It's a huge thing. Like, when you try to stand up for yourself, it's happened to me because I I don't like to be nice. I don't like to be fake. If something I don't like is happening, I stand up for myself. I'm like, no, this is fucking bullshit, you know? And people start to think like I'm being a bitch. I'm not, you know, I'm not being feminine enough.
Right away, they want to put you in your place.
Yeah, no, this it doesn't mean that you can't stand up for yourself if you're a woman. If it doesn't come off as feminine, who cares? We all have feminine and masculine properties or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's about balancing those out, not like being so feminine that you can't even lift anything or whatever. You can't even, you know, if you think that you can't do some of the things that men do or whatever because that's like the powerful side of a human being. No, we all have those powers. We all have these abilities, and we should all be able to balance these things out.
Yeah. And actually, another thing that I wanted to also just mention on this video is that also men grew up wrong because they are taught that don't cry, don't show emotion, you know, like man up, shake it off, whatever. And so that also creates this because they smother that down because that's not socially acceptable, right?
Yeah.
But there honestly is nothing more beautiful than a man who's actually in touch with his emotions. It doesn't mean that he's crying all the time, but it doesn't mean that he cannot express how he's feeling.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be masculine, it doesn't have to be strong, because again, they're also internalizing whatever they are not being truthful about. They're also not being kind to themselves when they don't allow this side to come out. And I think true beauty, true union of people is the people that find each other and who admire those sides of the other person. All the sides, because they are in all of us, whether you're female, whether you're male. We have all those sides. And so just as women should not be afraid to be kind, men should not be afraid to be more sensitive.
Like how awesome is it to be able to be truly open with somebody else and not worry about, oh, am I being too, you know, emotional or too this or too that. It's like
sometimes you get emotional. Sometimes you get emotional.
Even on the silliest things, whatever.
Yeah.
Even a song or whatever, and just tears start rolling down. Like, sure, like, what's the big deal? Like, we are all emotions, and we're all energy, and we have all these emotions going through us, and little things can trigger them, and it's okay. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's totally okay. Actually, the thing is that I've been doing it a little differently, because I was in a sensitive spot before where I can't watch things that are not happy, and I also can't hear things that are not happy. So even like sometimes when songs come on and I feel like I'm in that sensitive mode, and then the song makes me want to cry, and I like right away I like fast forward it. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear it. And then I'm like, now it's different. Now I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to see why I become emotional in this song. So obviously it's triggering something in me. And it is my job to figure out what it is. Who else is going to take care of me? I'm the only one that knows truly what is happening on my insides, right? And so now I'm different. Now when I see that a song is actually affecting me in that way, I actually sit with it. I actually allow the tears to come up. I actually try to figure out why it is for me that this song does this to me. And it's a whole new level of awareness. It's a whole new level of just being, of understanding yourself. And yeah, because man, as I found out, is that all your life, right, since you were born till to this day, everything that you experience, whether you realize it or not, right? Whether even our subconscious, because the subconscious picks up way more than our conscious does. Everything you experience in life is imprinted in your body. And so the only way to clear out the negative, the only way to clear out the hurt is to work through them, right? To recognize that they are there and to overload love and joy, right? Just as, you know, as I worked as a nutritionist, just as I don't tell people just cut all the bad stuff out, because no one's going to do that right away. Add more of the good stuff. Same thing to the human experience, right? Add more of the good stuff in to help ease out the bad stuff, you know? Yeah. I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah. How long have we been running?
I think we should keep it at that for today.
All right.
So we have more material for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. This was good.
If you guys have
no bloopers today.
No bloopers today. It worked out. Maybe next time we'll have some more bloopers, but yeah.
Again, I want to say, because after the other video, I was so happy to hear from people, even like in messages and stuff that I received, that it really spoke to them, what we talked about. And that just empowered me to, like I told you, that we need to do this. We need to do this because we are speaking for a lot of people that cannot speak for themselves. And we need to do it. I got some great comments and great feedback from our last video and what it brought up for some people. And I think it's really important. I think it's our time to empower women and men, and just to speak our truth. Because the only way we can grow, the only way that we can reach the levels we want to reach, our true happiness, our true potential, is to speak our truth.
Yes.
Speak our truth and not worry, because it's our truth. You know, whether we like it or not, whether other people like it or not, it doesn't matter. This is where the healing begins. This is where growth starts. So again, I hope that whoever watches this video, please comment and share your stories with us, because it only empowers more women to feel strong and feel empowered and understand that we're all go through this, and we don't need to be quiet about it anymore. And we don't need to be nice.
You stay quiet about it, the more suffering is happening in this world. All these things that happen on a big scale are like pretty much a sum of all of our like suffering little scales, and it all adds up. So imagine if, for example, I also saw another quote like years ago, about how, imagine if women wake up tomorrow being okay with their bodies, being okay with everything that they are, how many industries will go out of business?
Oh, yeah.
Like imagine just the effect, the cause and effect also about these things. Really just every little thing adds up, and there's millions and billions of us in this world, and if millions and billions of us are suffering, the whole world is gonna suffer. So you know,
we all feel it.
Things, we
all feel it. It all circulates in the air.
We're all like little pieces of broken mirror. We're all reflections of ourselves, of all our thoughts and stuff, and it really makes a huge impact on the world. So if we can empower each other and lift each other up and be, you know, brave and, you know, loving enough to actually do this to ourselves, even just to ourselves, it's going to make a huge difference, because we can't change the world before we change ourselves. So start working on yourself, start being, you know, true to yourself, and things will start happening. Good things will happen, and you will feel it like right away. So
you do feel it right away. I love that you said that. You do feel it right away. It's amazing, the shift, what happens within you. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Yes. Yay, I'm so glad you said that. That's perfect. That's a good way to end it.
Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed.
I love you.
Comments. Love you, Suku. Okay.
All right. Talk soon.
Yeah.
Okay.